Hello, I'm artist Caroline Karp, and I'm here to tell you about a really special commission that I'm working on. It's called the Grant Commission, and the reason it's called the Grant Commission is because it was inspired by a 6-year-old named Grant, and his family decided to invest in an artist to work with him. The artist is me, and to commemorate their trip of a time when they went to Costa Rica when Grant was 4. He remembers. He's about to be 7. So it's this commission. I'm using my I think it's going to be maybe 5-step process and multi-layered process. It's a mixed media intuitive painting. That means that I started with kind of a blank canvas, and we weren't sure exactly what was going to go into it. We knew certain elements, but they want it to remain an abstract piece. So I went to their home and brought all my materials, and I'll walk you through the processes. So we started off with torn tissue paper, black torn tissue paper. That was step number 1. While that was drying, I got out some papers for Grant to paint green and brown and golden. And so then this was drying at that point. So then when we put the canvas up, we painted the colors together, and that was step number 2. Step number 3 was some printmaking. So with pieces, found objects, this is an example of one, and dipped in paint and pressed onto the canvas. That was the next step. The following step was that we painted with our fingers. Kind of like, just put paint on your fingers, and I know that I'm going to be putting greenery in here, so we painted with our hands. The next step was that I took the piece home to my studio. Now, here is either a volcano or a rope bridge, or both. But the dad really wanted a rope bridge, and the mom really wanted a blue butterfly, and Grant really wanted a red-eyed tree frog in it. Now here is Grant's red-eyed tree frog. Super cute. And here is Grant's, I don't know where it went. But anyways, so what I did was here it is, his 3-toed sloth. These will be part of the painting, and they will be probably maybe on the back, and Grant is going to write a story about his experience and then also his vacation and what led to this. What I wanted to show you now was, I think this is like the 5th layer. So the 5th layer is adding pieces on top of the canvas. And what I'm going to do is put the wooden structure in that holds this part of the bridge up. I am going to leave the volcano kind of showing in the background because I think it's kind of a neat focal point. I do see several focal points, so I might need to work back in because it's a little busy feeling. So, what I'm going to use to make that wooden structure, remember we talked about the piece of paper that Grant used, or Grant painted on? I'm going to paint a slender strip, like so, because I love all the different colors of brown that are in this. It's going to be a thin one because it's just like a piece of wood, and I do want it to wrap over the canvas. So here's one piece, and to make it stick, I'm using a gel medium. Okay. So let's see, I do want a clean brush because my brushes all have paint on them. So I'm using the gel medium. I'm going to paint right on top of here. I sort of have it sketched out where I want it. And it's sort of like you're just laying, putting glue down. And like I said, I want it to go right over the canvas. So I lay that down, And this is going to be the piece of wood that is on this side. And it's going to go right over the top, like that, because it is a gallery wrapped canvas. So, right like so. A little layer on top of that. Now I'm going to do the other side as well. I want to make sure that's nice and stuck on there. When I seal this, everything will be sealed down flat. So that's one side of the rope bridge, and I'm going to cut the other side. Another thin strip. I don't care if they're even, because it kind of makes it a little bit interesting. Okay, here's my other strip. I'm going to add glue on this side. So Grant will be super excited to see that his artwork is, and his memories are coming to life. It's kind of my specialty to work with kids. I think that when I work with them, my work becomes even more magical because their ideas are so magical. And what a neat treasure that this family will have to remember the elements that Grant worked on. So this is the other side. I'm going to put a little bit up there to make it lie flat. Okay. Now I'm going to add some of the cross pieces to it. Let's see. I have another little piece of paper that I was kind of saving for this that he painted, but I kind of liked the shimmer on this. So let's see. This one. I love the little rectangle that it makes. It's almost like a separate canvas in here. And then I'm going to do a little cross here as part of the supports. One, two. Okay. Like so. Okay, so let's see how these are going to end up. I do want them to come off the top. So maybe one right there. And one right there. And this gel medium does dry clear. So even if I get it in a place I don't want it, it doesn't matter because I'm going to seal the whole thing when I'm finished. So one right there. And one right here. And then I'm going to make sure that they get folded onto the top here because like I said, it's a gallery wrapped canvas. I don't know if I told you on this video, but this piece is called the Grant Commission. And it's a Costa Rican abstract that kind of commemorates their trip it's a memory of their trip that they took to Costa Rica when Grant was 4 and now he's 6, and it's going to be a treasure that they keep forever because it's also going to remind them that of when he was young. And then when Grant gets older, he might even want it himself. So after this, I'm probably going to add these ropes in. And I do think that it's going to go further than that, obviously. I have to really think about what's going to happen inside this square, and now I also need to figure out what's going to happen back there to make it really pop out. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to work with me or have me work with your child or your niece or your nephew or your grandchildren, you can contact me at carolinekarpartist.com and leave me a little message. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, leave me a message there. And so it's Caroline with a C, Karp with a K, artist.com. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.